A newsbreaker coming to join us just now, the House Freedom Caucus member, Virginia Republican Dave Brat. Congressman, you might have caught some of this back and forth on this, and maybe the news we cover on this, I don't want to overly emphasize it, but that it's all one way in the media that he's a failure and soon to be kicked out of office. I had no idea where the Russian investigation collusion thing goes and the impaneled grand jury, but to kill him in the crib and say 6 months in, you know, he's Warren Harding, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think we got to pivot. Health care, we had the House and the Senate had 7 years to come up with a health care plan that would actually get some votes. We failed. So now we're going to pivot toward, I think, the president's specialty, and that is tax cuts. The House and the Senate and the White House are unified.
Well, you got to get them, right? I mean, you got to get them.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right. And that's going to happen. And then I think his second speciality has to do with the apprenticeship. If he combines that tax cut piece with taking care of kids coming out of high school and college, the workforce and our labor markets are currently a mess. Everywhere I go, I'm back home, I've visited already 20 businesses. They're all saying we cannot find skilled workers in our trade, right? Truckers, drivers, welders, mechanics. He needs to take his apprentice show skill set and the branding he can do with that bully pulpit, do apprenticeships, internships, business certificates, work with the community colleges, get the chamber involved. The Chamber of Commerce is working hard in the region to do these things. You put tax cuts together to incentivize the supply side, give the middle class a tax break so that the guy that gets up at 4 a.m. and sets his alarm clock gets $100 or $200 more back a month, and a single mom has a little bit extra money to pay for the kids' meals,
But you also got to do it. You got to do it, right? I mean, it's almost Hail Mary pass time here, and I'm wondering.
We're going to get it.
You are.
We got it.
Do you think
we're going to get this one done.
Time's a wasting here. I mean, I've heard the soonest you get a Senate vote is November. Well, that's very close to the end of the year. And I know these things have gone. They keep getting pushed back.
Yep. There's new momentum after the health care failure. Everybody knows this is the touchdown. Health care, no one was going to be doing, somersaults over that bill one way or the other. But tax cuts, everyone's excited for it.
Yeah, but everyone's not on the same page. I know guys like you, and of course you're a conservative group that's been bemoaning this lack of progress, both on the health care front and on the tax thing. And the House did, whether people like it or not, did submit a measure. But the Senate is quite strict on rules, and they have their own parliamentary procedures. And a lot of the moderates want these things paid for, which means, by definition, the tax cuts won't be that big. And I know you guys in the House want something big. So how's this going to go?
Yeah, well, that's been my worry. I've been on your show for 4 months talking about the border adjustable piece and then the health care piece. If we don't get those passed, we're going to be a couple trillion light. So we got to go back to the well. I talked with Paul Ryan a couple weeks ago. He's got some contingency plans to find funds, and he wants to keep those rates as low as we can. Mark Meadows has been all over the place saying we want the corporate rate in the teens. And then the pass-through, for small business.
What was the reaction to that? Because Senator Orrin Hatch has more or less said that ain't going to happen, maybe 20–25%. That's just one difference, right?
Yeah, well, the reaction, I hope the business class from around the country weighs into the Senate. I mean, if we don't get a tax cut through, we're going to have 0% economic growth for the next 40 years. We've had, anemic economic growth, zero productivity growth for 20 years. The people back home are getting cranky because when your wages are flat for 30 years, because productivity is flat, they get upset, and they're rightly upset at us. So it's time to get working hard. We should be at work right now. But the American people are demanding this from us. The Democrats just make up cliches, right? Let's just give everyone a pay raise. How do you do that, right? Let's just set wage rates at $100 an hour. It's just fiction land. And then on education, let's just throw more money at a monopoly education system that is uncorrelated with productivity. If President Trump talks about apprenticeships, getting kids in the workplace for 8 hours a day for a few weeks internship over a J term or a summer term, or even having businesses come into the K-12 system, that'll be a home run. That'll motivate the whole country. And so I think he's got plenty of good people on his staff already working on that vision.
It is do or die for you guys. Sir, thank you very, very much. Hope you have a safe weekend.
You bet. Thanks, Neil.